Hello and welcome to another video, this time on the 2026-03 update, the March update for PWD. There's been a couple of quality of life changes and a security update as well. So the first thing to mention is that now in your My Account page, we've made it a little bit more obvious whether or not any of these panels are being edited. So you can see here, for example, the API, the description is now in sort of a light grey, so you can't really read it very well. When you go to edit though, it is highlighted so you can edit it. Once it's saved, it disappears. The same with your settings for contact preferences. If you go to edit the details, they now highlight. When you're no longer editing them, they're grey, so you can tell whether you're in edit mode or not. So that's just one quality of life change that we've made, just to make it a bit more visually obvious what's happening. You'll also notice in the contact preferences, which is where you also set up your authentication security options, that there's been a minor change here in the way that it looks, and that is because we now support MFA, which I'll come onto in a second. But if I edit those details, you can see that the options for authentication security I can set to none. So when I sign into this account, it just asks me for my email address and password. I can set 2FA, which is the default after you've registered. This is the same as before, where when you go to sign in, the site will send to your email a 6-digit code, which I'll demonstrate just now. Save those details, log out, and go to log in again. Log in. So you'll see that the field for entering the 6-digit code has changed. We now have these little boxes. So I'll put my password in, and as it says here, a code will have been sent to my email. So I'm just going to go and flick over to my email and refresh the screen. There we go. So I have a code which I can just copy and then click in the box, paste, and then hit enter, and I'm signed in. So that's 2FA. It's handy if you've got email, say on your phone, you can see the email arrive and get your code relatively quickly, and it adds a layer of security. That's always been there, although it looked a little different prior to this update. But you also notice that we have MFA, which we can't choose at the moment because it's not set up. So we'll go through the setup process, but this is a kind of standard thing now with most online services, whereby you use a plugin in your browser or an app on your phone, an authenticator app like Microsoft Authenticator. So in order to use MFA, we need to set it up. So if I click on the Setup MFA TOTP, you'll see that we get a QR code and a big long secret key. The QR code is basically that and a couple other details. We've got a handy little copy button. And the reason why we give you this is because if you're not using a mobile phone authenticator app with a camera that works, you're not going to be able to take a picture of that QR code. So you can manually either type it in, which I wouldn't recommend, or paste it into the plugin when you're setting it up. So I'll show you how to install a plugin for this browser, for example. If I change the screen a second. The reason why I'm using a camera pointed at the screen for the top right of this screen is because for security reasons the browser doesn't allow the screen to be captured. I'm sure you can if you've got a proper video capture device, but for now I'm just using a webcam pointed at the screen, so I apologize for the quality. But if I click on here, most browsers have an extensions feature or something similar. Go to manage extensions, and then you can click on get extensions for your browser, and in the search I just put in authenticator and I'll put 2FA. That's my personal favorite at the moment, but as you can see there are many authenticator plugins which will work with this browser. And again, same for your mobile phone. I'm pretty sure you'll find there's a whole bunch of them. I personally use Microsoft Authenticator, but in this case, we're just going to demonstrate it in the browser. So I'm going to get that plugin, and I'll just go back to the camera so you can see that doesn't show on the screen there, but it does via the camera. So add extension, and that's now installing. In the top right here, you can see it's just installing. And then I can view the extension, and you can see here that I've got Authenticator 2FA running in my browser. So whenever I want to, I can click on that, and there's the app or the plugin. And at the moment, it's not set up. Go back to our pwd setup for MFA. There it is. And we're going to set this up in this browser plugin that we've just installed. So in this case, it's a pencil. It may vary for the different plugins, but today we're going to use this 2FA one. So add an account, and I can use scanning the QR code, or I can do manual entry. If I do manual entry, I'll just type in whatever I want for the name of this. So I put in pwd, for example, and then I'll copy and paste that secret into there and click OK. The job will be done. But also I can add it via the QR code, and this particular plugin allows me to use my mouse to select the QR code, and then it handily adds in the name and everything that I need. Click OK. Now when I click on that plugin, you'll see that it comes up with pwd and a number, the 6-digit number that we need. You'll also notice that it's time-based, so that number will change. So I'm showing you this on screen now. You can write it down if you like, but you'll not be able to use it because it won't repeat. As the time runs out, it goes red to let you know that it's changing, and it's changed, and we've got another number. So in order to finish setting up MFA, I need to take those digits. By clicking on them, it copies it to the clipboard, and then in my browser I can just paste that in there and confirm, and there we are, we've set it up. So by using the code that it generates, we've confirmed that it's all set up and working. Now you'll notice on the congratulations screen here that we have some backup codes as well. I'm just going to copy those because we'll demonstrate them in use later. I'm just going to stick them in a notepad off screen. Okay, these backup codes, as it says here, can only be used once. So there's 8 of them. So when you've used one, you'll have 7. When you use another, you'll have 6 until you have none. At which point it's probably wise to delete your MFA plugin entry and start again. So I'll close that screen because we're done. MFA is now available. And so if I log out from this screen now, then go to log in again, I will be presented with a request for my password as usual. And at the bottom it says enter your MFA OTP code from your Apple plugin. So that's where I go to the plugin, Authenticator. I click on my code, and then I paste it in here. Now, if for some reason this plugin wasn't working, or I had, I had set this up on my phone rather than a plugin in my browser, but I did somehow miraculously have one of those 8 backup codes, I could use the button here to choose a backup code, type one of those in, and then complete the login. If I use a backup code, you'll see here that it tells you that you've got 7 remaining because it's deleted one of them now that I've used it. If I go back in again now to prove the system works, okay, and then click log on. I can type in my password, get my TOTP or MFA code, paste that in, complete the login, and I'm in. Now, if I did run out of those one-time codes, I can go in and reset MFA. That will clear out those codes and get you back to the stage as if you had not been using MFA, which means that you would have to go, if you were using a plugin, you would have to go into the plugin and use your tools here to delete the entry so that you could re-add it with a new secret code. I'm not going to do that at this point in time, but you can. Same with your mobile phone. If you've got the app on your phone, you just open it up and then there'll be an option there to delete the entry so that you can re-add it, get those 8 new fresh backup codes, and start again. Okay, so that's MFA. That's how you set it up. I've demonstrated how you install a plugin, at least into the Edge browser, and then how to set up the MFA. So a new feature that we've added is the ability to edit passcodes. At the moment, it's just fairly simple editing process. You still have to get passcodes from the front screen as before. So I'm going to pick one of these, Colourful Dancer 89. Save that one, and I can add it to my group as before and add a note. Excuse my typing, it's terrible. Save that passcode, and I'm going to my account. And so the way that I edit is I find the passcode that I want to edit. You'll notice that it is already a strong passcode because it has upper, lowercase characters as well as numbers and a special character. So if I edit that one and I need it to be a lot simpler, I don't like the star, I'm just going to put it back to Colourful Dancer 89 and save that. It's now how I like it. And also, because I've taken the asterisk or the star out of it, it's no longer qualified as a strong passcode. So it tells you that here, it's simple. This way, you don't have to change, put it into a special group of any kind or anything like that. It'll tell you. If I re-edit it again and, I don't know, change the passcode a bit more, add in a special character, and you can add in as many special characters as you like, or numbers, letters, whatever. Save the change. You'll see it's a much stronger passcode, and also it knows it, so it's telling you that it's a strong passcode. It's just one step closer to being a more functional passcode manager. So not only do we create them, but we allow you to tailor them individually at this point to fit your requirement. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and the changes that we've made to the pwd product. There are many more changes planned for the future, but if you have any ideas or just want to contact us about it, got some questions, feel free to use the contact form on the site, put in your details and send us the message, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. You never know, your idea might even be included. Thank you very much for watching.